guess what? This is Caitlin Clark's first visit against Diana Taurasi.
What I want to clear up is that for whatever reason, there's this narrative that I hate Caitlin Clark.
I expected more from Diana Taurasi, ain't gonna lie about that. I expected something like can't wait. I expected something like get your popcorn ready.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
You know, it's one thing to go against young girls and stuff like that. You about to go up against grown women. We gonna be waiting for. So
if you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player said.
Did Diana Taurasi just ignore a young black fan? A shocking video is making waves, and WNBA fans are losing it. But that's not all. This scandal is bringing up some serious questions about racism in the league. Let's break it down. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. So here's what happened. A video shows Taurasi walking by fans after a game. She's all smiles, giving high fives to white fans. But then, a young black fan reaches out, and Taurasi just keeps walking? Yeah, you heard that right. It looks bad, really bad. Now the internet is blowing up, fans are furious, media is all over it, and everyone's asking, what's going on here? Is this just a misunderstanding, or is there something deeper happening in the WNBA? You know what's crazier? This isn't just about one moment. It's opening up a whole can of worms about race in the league. Are some players treated differently? Is there a double standard we're not seeing? Let's talk about it. Now let's flip the script for a second. What if it was Caitlin Clark who walked past that young fan? The reaction would be totally different. And that difference? It's exposing some ugly truths about racism in women's basketball. This whole Taurasi situation is blowing up, but it's not just about one player or one moment. It's shining a spotlight on something bigger, the double standards that might be lurking in the WNBA. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. Think about it. If Caitlin Clark, the rising star of the league, had been caught on camera ignoring a young black fan, what do you think would happen? The internet would explode. Every sports channel would be running the clip 24/7. People would be calling for her head on a platter. But with Taurasi, it's like crickets out there. Sure, there's some buzz, but it's nothing compared to what it could be. And that's got people asking, why the difference? Is it because Taurasi's been in the league longer? Or is there something else going on here? Here's where it gets real. Some fans are saying there's a racial double standard at play. They're pointing out how white players like Clark seem to get more attention, more praise, and yeah, more criticism when they mess up. But when it comes to players of color, it's like the volume gets turned down. And it's not just about this one incident. Remember when Taurasi made those comments about Clark's transition to the WNBA? She said, reality is coming, like she was trying to put the rookie in her place. Now imagine if a white veteran player had said that about a rising black star. You bet people would be crying foul. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about Taurasi or Clark. It's about the whole league. It's about how we talk about players, how we judge their actions, and yeah, how we treat them when they make mistakes. And right now, a lot of fans are saying the playing field isn't level. So what does this mean for the WNBA? It's forcing us to take a hard look at how race plays into everything, from how players are marketed to how they're disciplined. It's uncomfortable, sure, but it's necessary. Because if we want a league that's truly fair and equal, we've got to deal with these issues head on. And you know what? This could be a turning point. Maybe this is the wake-up call the WNBA needs to really address these double standards. To create a league where every player, no matter their race, is held to the same standards and given the same opportunities. But here's the million-dollar question. Is the WNBA ready to have this conversation? Are fans ready? Because let's be real, talking about race isn't easy. It's messy, it's complicated, and it can get heated real quick. But if we want to see real change, we've got to be willing to dive in and do the work. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any crazier, along comes the ultimate showdown. The legend versus the rookie. Taurasi talked big about Clark's transition, but Clark's turning the league upside down. Who's really calling the shots in the WNBA now? Remember when Diana Taurasi warned Caitlin Clark about the WNBA? She said, "It's kind of like when you go from kindergarten to first grade, there's a learning adjustment." Taurasi wasn't pulling any punches. She was basically telling Clark, "Hey rookie, you're not in college anymore. This is the big leagues." But here's the thing, Clark didn't just show up to play, she came to dominate. Her rookie season, it's been nothing short of historic. She's not just playing well, she's leading the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. That's right, 2016. Clark's not just living up to the hype, she's exceeding it. And the fans? They're loving every second of it. Clark's games are drawing crowds like never before. We're talking record-breaking attendance. People are flocking to see this rookie sensation in action. It's like Clark's got this magnetic pull, bringing new life to the league. But here's where it gets really interesting. You've got Taurasi, this WNBA legend, watching from the sidelines as Clark takes center stage. And you can bet there's some tension there. It's like watching the old guard face off against the new star. Taurasi's been the face of the league for so long, and now here comes Clark, threatening to steal the spotlight. This clash isn't just about two players, though. It's reshaping the entire league. Fans are getting excited in a way we haven't seen before. They're showing up in droves, they're buying merch, they're talking about the WNBA on social media. Clark's success is changing what people expect from rookie players and from the league as a whole. But let's not forget, Taurasi's words weren't just trash talk. She was speaking from experience. The WNBA is tough, and even the best college players need time to adjust. Taurasi knows this better than anyone. She's been through it all, seen it all. When she says greatness is going to translate, she's not just talking about Clark. She's talking about the reality of professional basketball. And that reality, it's hitting Clark head on. Sure, she's breaking records and drawing crowds, but she's also facing challenges she never saw in college. The game is faster, the players are stronger, and the pressure is intense. Every night, she's up against the best of the best. It's a whole new ballgame. This generational clash is more than just Taurasi versus Clark. It's about the evolution of the WNBA. You've got these established stars, players who've built the league from the ground up, and now you've got this new wave of talent, players like Clark, who are taking things to a whole new level. It's creating this electric atmosphere in the league. Fans are debating who's better, who deserves more attention, who's really driving the future of women's basketball. It's not just about stats anymore. It's about star power, about who can capture the imagination of the fans and bring new eyes to the sport. And you know what? This tension, this clash of generations, it might be exactly what the WNBA needs. It's creating buzz, sparking debates, and most importantly, it's getting people excited about women's basketball. Whether you're Team Taurasi or Team Clark, you can't deny that this rivalry is good for the game. While fans are loving the drama between players, there's a hidden battle happening right under our noses. It's not just about who's got the best game anymore. Now we're asking, who's got the refs on their side? You won't believe what's going down on the court, and I'm not talking about the players. The refs are in the spotlight, and it's not looking good. We're seeing some seriously questionable calls, and it's got everyone wondering, is there a double standard in the WNBA? Check this out. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, got hit with a technical foul for slapping the cushion under the basket. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because guess what? Diana Taurasi did the exact same thing in another game, and the ref just let it slide. Same ref, same action, totally different call. What's up with that? This isn't just a one-time thing. We're seeing it happen over and over. It's like there's one rule book for the veterans and another for the rookies. And you know what? Fans are noticing. They're asking questions. They're calling out the inconsistencies. But here's where it gets really interesting. Taurasi, never one to shy away from controversy, decided to weigh in on the whole situation. And let me tell you, she didn't hold back. She said, "The new fans are really sensitive these days, you can't say anything." Ouch. That's some serious shade. But is Taurasi right? Are fans being too sensitive? Or are they just calling out unfairness when they see it? It's a tough question, and it's got everyone talking. Some people are saying Taurasi's just being a sore loser, while others think she's got a point about the changing culture of the league. And it's not just about Taurasi and Clark. Remember when Angel Reese got ejected for a double technical foul? Yeah, that happened. And then, get this, the league had to take it back. They actually rescinded the ejection. Talk about a mess. So what's really going on here? Are the refs playing favorites? Is there some kind of veteran privilege in the WNBA? Or is it just a bunch of honest mistakes that are getting blown out of proportion? Here's the thing. This isn't just about a few bad calls. It's about the integrity of the game. When fans start to doubt whether the refs are being fair, it changes everything. It affects how players perform, how coaches strategize, and yeah, how fans enjoy the game. And you know what's really wild? This whole ref drama is adding fuel to the fire of that bigger conversation we were having about fairness in the league. Remember all that stuff about double standards and race? Well, now we're seeing it play out in real time, right on the court. Taurasi's got something to say about that too. She's talking about how both rookies and veterans need to adapt to the league's style. She says, "It's the way the league has been. It's a physical league." But is that just an excuse for inconsistent officiating? This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about respect. It's about fairness. And yeah, it's about race. Because when we see these inconsistencies, we can't help but wonder if there's something else going on behind the scenes. You know what's really wild? All this drama with Taurasi and Clark is just scratching the surface. The WNBA likes to paint itself as this super progressive league, but take a closer look and you'll see some cracks in that perfect image. Is the WNBA really as forward-thinking as we've been led to believe? Let's dig into it. So here's the deal. We've got this whole mess with Taurasi ignoring a young black fan, and it's got people talking. But it's not just about one moment or one player. It's opening up a big old can of worms about race in the WNBA. And let me tell you, it's complicated. Think about it. We've got Taurasi, this veteran player, making comments about Clark's transition to the pros. She's all like, "The new fans are really sensitive these days. You can't say anything." Now that might sound harsh, but Taurasi's got a point. The league's changing and fast. But is it changing for the better? Here's where it gets tricky. Some folks are saying there's this unspoken rule in the WNBA. Like, if you're a veteran player, especially if you're white, you can get away with more. But if you're a rookie or a player of color, you better watch your step. Is that fair? Heck no. But is it happening? That's the million-dollar question. And it's not just about what happens on the court. It's about how players are treated off the court too. Remember when Cheryl Swoops got in hot water for saying black people can't be racist? Yeah, that happened. And it sparked this whole debate about race in the league. People were arguing left and right about what racism even means in women's basketball. Now, let's talk about Clark for a second. This rookie's coming in and shaking things up. She's breaking records, drawing crowds like nobody's business. But you know what? She's also facing challenges that go way beyond just playing ball. She's got to prove herself in a league that's got a complicated history with race. And that's the thing about the WNBA. It's not just about putting the ball in the hoop. It's about navigating this whole complex world of race, respect, and reputation. Every player, whether they're a rookie or a vet, has to figure out how to make it work. But here's the kicker. All this drama, it might actually be good for the league. Yeah, you heard me right. Because now we're talking about it. We're having these tough conversations about race and fairness in women's basketball. And that's the first step to making things better. So what's the WNBA going to do about all this? Are they going to step up and address these issues head on? Or are they going to try to sweep it under the rug and hope it all blows over? That's what we're all waiting to see. And you know what? It's not just up to the league. It's up to us fans too. We've got to keep asking these tough questions, keep pushing for fairness, keep demanding better. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. A league where every player gets a fair shot, no matter their race or how long they've been in the game. All right, let's talk about where we go from here. This Taurasi incident, it's opened up a whole can of worms about race, respect, and fairness in the WNBA. We've got veterans clashing with rookies, questionable calls from refs, and fans wondering if there's a double standard at play. So what's next for the league? Can the WNBA address these issues head-on, or will they try to sweep it under the rug? And what about us fans? We've got a role to play too. We need to keep the conversation going. Keep asking those tough questions. Because here's the thing. The WNBA's at a crossroads. It's growing fast, but with that growth comes growing pains. How the league handles these challenges could make or break its future. So let's keep talking, keep pushing for change, and help make the WNBA the best it can be.